Hello everyone, welcome back to Pharma E-Class. I am Pratibha Patel, Assistant Professor in Smriti College of Pharmaceutical Education, Indore. Today we are going to start diuretics. So diuretics are chemicals that increase the rate of urine formation. By increase the urine flow rate, diuretics uses lead to increased excretion of electrolytes like sodium and chloride and water from the body without affecting protein, vitamins, glucose, and amino acid reabsorption. These pharmacological properties have led to the use of diuretics in the treatment of CHF, nephrotic disorders, and renal diseases, and in the management of hypertension. The main or primary target organ for diuretics is the kidney, where these drugs interfere with the reabsorption of sodium and other ions from the lumina of the nephron, which are the main functional unit of the kidney. So, diuretics are used in the management of edema associated diseases like cardiovascular disease, renal disease, or endocrine related diseases or abnormalities. The drug act various sites in the nephron to cause diuresis. Diuresis means increase in the urine formation. Most diuretic inhibit the reabsorption of sodium from the nephrons into the circulatory and thereby increase natriuresis. Natriuresis means excretion of sodium in the urine. Normal physiology of kidney. So nephron is the basic functional unit of the kidney. Here in nephron, four major sites which is responsible for the reabsorption. Site 1 PCT or proximal convoluted tubules. Site 2 ascending loop of Henle. Site 3 DCT or distal convoluted tubules, and fourth site 4 late distal tubules and collecting ducts. An important function of the kidney, water reabsorption to maintain a homeostatic balance of electrolytes and waters, to excrete water soluble metabolites and filtration and urine formation. This is the structure of nephron, which is the basic unit of kidney. Each kidney contain approximately 1 million nephrons, and each nephron is capable of forming urine independently. Two important functions of the kidneys are to maintain a homeostatic balance of electrolytes and water, and second one is to excrete water soluble end product of metabolites. The kidney accomplishes these functions through the formation of urine by the nephrons. Nephron composed of a specialized capillary bed called glomerulus. This one, glomerulus, and a long tubules divided into PCT, loop of Henle, DCT, and collecting duct. Urine formation begins with the filtration of blood at the glomerulus. Approximately 1.2 liter of blood per minute flow through both kidney and reaches the nephron by the way of afferent arterioles. Approximately 20% of blood entering the glomerulus and filtered into Bowman's capsule to form the glamorous filtrate. After the filtration, filtrate come into the PCT. Here, sodium ion reabsorption coupled with glucose, bicarbonates, amino acid reabsorption. Glucose and amino acid are completely reabsorbed in this portion of nephron. The early stage of PCT is the primary site of bicarbonate reabsorption. So, the reabsorption of sodium and bicarbonate is facilitated by the enzyme carbonic anhydrase, which is present in the proximal convoluted tubules and catalyze the formation of carbonic acid from water and carbon dioxide. The PCT is also the site for active secretion of weakly acidic and weakly basic compounds. The descending loop of Henle is impermeable to the ion but permeable to water. So, luminal fluid continue to concentrate as it descends to the deepest portion of the loop of Henle, where the fluid becomes the most concentrate. The hypertonic luminal fluid next enter to the water impermeable thick ascending limbs of loop of Henle. So this thick ascending loop of Henle and early DCT or distal convoluted tubules contribute to the urine dilation. This question. Luminal fluid leaving the early DCT next passes through the late DCT and collecting tubules, where sodium is reabsorbed and potassium and hydrogen ion are exchanged. This process is partially from mineralocorticoids, that is aldosterone. Although the reabsorption of sodium ion from these segments of the nephron is not large, this sodium, potassium, and hydrogen ion exchange system determines the final acidity and potassium contents of urine. Classification of diuretics. Five categories are there. First one is carbonic anhydrase inhibitors. Drugs are acetazolamide, methazolamide, and dichloromethane. Second category is thiazide diuretics. Drugs are chlorothiazide, hydrochlorothiazide, hydroflumethiazide, and cyclothiazide. Third category is osmotic diuretic. Drug is mannitol. Fourth category is loop diuretics. Drugs are furosemide, bumetanide, and ethacryonic acid. Potassium sparing diuretics. Drugs are spironolactone, amilorides, and trimethoprim. These are the structures of carbonic anhydrase inhibitors. First one is acetazolamide. This is the structure of acetazolamide, methazolamide, and dichloromethane. Thiazide diuretics. Two categories are there. Vanjothiazide. This is a man thiazide diuretics. Drug is chlorothiazide. And second one is hydrothiazide. So general structure of hydrothiazine, and according to drugs R1, R2 and R3 substituents are there. Okay. Difference only in both structures, only this bond, this one. Okay. Next category is loop diuretics. So these are the structure. First one is furosemide. Furosemide means furo. Furo matlab furan. So this ring is furan. Ethacryonic acid. Ethacryonic acid is a phenoxyacetic acid derivative. Phenoxyacetic acid. This one. Phenoxyacetic acid. Okay. And this is the structure of bumetanide. Bumetanide is 40 times more potent than furosemide. Next category is potassium sparing diuretics, trimethrin, spironolactone, and amilorides. Amilorides have pyrazine nucleus. This one. This is a pyrazine ring. Osmotic diuretic, mannitol. So this is the structure of mannitol.